everyone, and welcome to my gear review for 2024. We've got a big year as always, so let's have a look what we have this year, starting off with January then. On January 1st, we had Adult Hornicle. Adult Hornicle, they finally resolved the long-lost mystery of what happened to Hornicle's leg, yo. We have been waiting for the confirmation behind what happened to it since basically we knew about young Hornicle. The leg is missing in Dawn of Fire, and finally the bio shed a bit of light on that. It revealed that apparently it has a connection towards Hydrid, the Water Island Colossal, and in their adventures together, the leg actually just kind of it kind of got lost somewhere along the way. Anyway, this design was really cool as well. I love the pyro atmosphere and embracing what Hydrid and Hornicle got together and that coalesced backstory there. We do be loving that. Then moving on to January 10th, we had the prismatic Pongpings. I'm still in funny hysterics from these, to be honest. The deep, dark crevice, as I called it in my discovery, I just will always remember it by that. Honestly, the tropical atoll, as it is described inside of its bio, it kind of reminds me of Jammer Splash in a weird way. The deep, dark crevices at the bottom of them, they just look really weird. I don't even know how the legs are levitating from these patches. I just think we should move on. Moving on to January 17th, though, we have Epic Wink. Got that wink in there. With Epic Wink, it had lots of eyes this time and almost like an emperor, old Egyptian feel to it. The rugs coming from it. Honestly, quite a cool concept with this one. Then on January 17th, we had new Colosseum decorations. These, they had unique sounds when you tap on them. I never really even encountered this till recently, but apparently, I think I discovered this last year. You tap on them when it's minimized and then you actually hear sounds, and they added some sounds for these ones too. Really cool batch of decorations there. I wish they went on the Colosseum there. Bias gets in there. Then on January 17th, we got two new jukebox songs on the Colosseum as well. We had the Fairy Tale Suite and the Spirit of Adventure. These were from trailers last year for Clover Spell and then Perplex Explore as well. So nice to see these in game. And then we had on January 30th, the Dips of Magical Sanctum. Oh, get a bit of spicy here. So I do believe this is actually the last adventure that we are probably going to see for the Dipsters. And my oh my, it was actually quite an okay addition. Not unlike to maybe Bone Island, where they are honestly really catchy off fairy, but they were okay on here. I think that they are quite repetitive, but then again, I feel like the Dipsters do that a lot. Honestly, they were an okay batch. I'm curious whether we are going to see these in the future. They are quite beloved in the community and also quite hated as well. So it'll be interesting to see if we do make a return there one day. And also on January 30th, we had Rare Fleetworm, based on Crescendo Moon, the dragon linkage here. I can remember we had a huge wait for Crescendo Moon because we expected it to come really close towards the year's beginning because, I mean, come on, it celebrates New Year's, and then it turned out to come later. But Rare Fleetworm, they carried us on through that moment, and they had a really awesome design, I will admit, too. Then on January 31st, we had Rare Knucklehead, based on Magus. You heard that right? I mean, I think I made my opinions quite clear in my reaction on this one. Then on January 31st, we had the 4 Crescendo Moon costumes too. One for Zeaster. I loved seeing the Magical Sanctum monsters get their first ever costumes. That was quite a big deal to me. I want my Enchantling one. Give it me. This year, right, Big Blue Bubble, I'm watching. I want it. Then we also got a random Dragon one. Honestly, this set up quite a big precedent, I do feel like, towards these Orcs events, having just this random costume. It felt really out of place because we were waiting for the magical ones in particular, but they kind of removed that as time went on through the year, as you guys will see. Then on January 31st, we got the Crescendo Moon decorations. I will say with this, I don't know why it says costumes on the timeline, ignore that, okay? I will say with this, that the decorations, they were such a huge improvement. The Beat Hereafter ones, they just copied that island skin. Thank God they listened to us as well. The decorations, they are so much better for every single event over Beat Hereafter. I actually feel sorry for Beat Hereafter. Beat Hereafter ones, they kind of sucked. They kind of went back to that with the Mind Boggle ones, as we'll get to in the future, but my oh my, I think it was the Dragon Envelope one in the back here, what is on the timeline. That was so good. Oh my goodness. It really did set the precedent for these decorations though throughout the year. Moving on to February then, though now. February, quite a jam-packed year, I will admit, with variants this one. But anyway, going over to February 1st, we had adult paironormals based on a train conductor here. They were such a cute little guy, honestly. I love the little fake mustache idea too. That was hilarious. We had on the February 7th as well. I feel like at the beginning of the year, there was lots of things which I didn't like. So I do apologize. With February 7th, though, we got Baby Smoochel. Unfortunately, this was the first of the squeaker squawkers, as I have nicknamed them. Unfortunately, they just wanted to chipmunk out on the continent. They was very high-pitched, these seasonals, especially Baby Smoochel. And Blabbit, they took that a lot higher than Cooler, I would say, in the end. But I feel like Smoochel, it was kind of disappointing because Hunkleton and Yule are absolutely amazing. I have received comments about me muting Yule. It was just in the Mundermine, okay? It shows that it's sleeping when you view someone's island there. I love Punkleton and Yule so much. But Smoochel and Blabbit, no way. Hula, just no. I just like it. But Blabbit and Smoochel are something else, okay? The design, though, was really cool behind this one. I loved the lore behind Valentine. It was cute in the bio. What else can you say, yo? Then on February 7th... We've got Epic Carolongo for Toothless. Yes, I just basically, when I was discovering it, right, it reminded me of the Toothless dance, which was popular, the meme at the time. So I had to get that in the Gira review, of course. But Epic Carolongo, it feels like it was a really great moment, this, when we got this Epic. We wanted this golden dragon with Epic Carolongo because leap year is not represented properly within Crescendo Moon, and Crescendo Moon is supposed to represent all New Year celebrations. So having this in game, it meant a lot, and I feel like this design is really awesome as we go down in the year, though. Man, oh man, the animations and the unique ones behind them, they just kept getting better and better, yo, and I'm so excited to get to those ones. On February 7th as well, we had 5 new Season of Love costumes. We've got Dongoliet from Fling a Thing, which Epic Sculpts dress stars. I absolutely love that because Epic Sculpts is based on Flutter from Fling a Thing as well, and Biocinurus one. You always have that one costume that is funny. I've learned that this year, and I love it, okay? Never change that, okay? We love that. And then on February 7th, we also had on the MSM Live that day, Matt was just removed from MSM Live, and I kind of want to talk about this because Matt on My Singing Monsters Live, now he's been removed, you can really feel the impact that he had on the show. He could bring the lore in, he could tease things, all of that lore. I miss my lore and knowing behind the scenes, and I really do wish that Matt could return to MSM Live, and I did want to include that just because of that fact, and it does make me realize how much of the community is based around the little tidbits of Matt and how much we love him. Please come back, okay? Come back. We have him on the update showcases still, but Matt, we miss you very dearly. And then on February 14th, oh boy! Getting gear for Workshop Wave 3, yeah! Workshop carried this year. Workshop Wave 3, we had Piplash and Vention. Oh my god! Oh, the Workshop monsters! Oh, I love you! Vention, though. Vention. Wow, what a quad. I think out of all of the quads, that is the one that suits the Workshop atmosphere so much. Just like to Flask, that unique element that came in with this one. Absolutely amazing, and I love inside of its bio the reference towards it wanting to get out of the Workshop. It inspired down in the Workshop. Lots of awesome things going on with Workshop. Just wow. And the Workshop song is not the same without Vention. Piplash, oh my god, I love this dude, please. That little move there, I love that so much. They play, honestly, not very much inside of the song, but their minor contribution, I love ever so dearly, and I would not change it any other way. It's just so cool. And then on February 14th as well, this was a lit day, yo. This was so cool, because we also got Epic Wallaby that day. Epic Epic Wallaby. Oh my goodness. That is literally, I would debate my favorite monster in the entire game. It's based on a goat. The monster handlers literally commented on my discovery video, and it made me realize, wow, maybe they did take a bit of inspiration in what I like, because I remember when I was talking to them, when I met them, saying that I love goats, and then they commented, we knew you'd like this one. I'm like, I just love it so much. It's my favorite, and I'm just so startled by it still. It is seriously absolutely amazing. I love inside of its bio that it's actually this one too. It referenced Magical Nexus before it released, and we had no idea. Oh, we do love you, Epic Wallaby. Then on February 14th, we actually got Rare Bookworm as well. A really cool variant day, this one. It was honestly the coolest rare seasonal, I would say. It was absolutely amazing. I do not know what Bookworm came in with this year, but she had a mission to make her have the coolest variants. And you know what? That is a completely unprecedented and unexpected move. But I love you, Bookworm, for that. I seriously love them so much. Even over Rare Moncular Show, I have to give the best rare seasonal to Rare Bookworm. And just the set of variants, so cool. It being based on a gummy worm, it's just adorable, and it actually differs its design up so much over the other rare seasonals. Such a good job with that one. Then on February 14th as well, Epic Socks, again throughout this year, they really did release a lot of variants. That's what I found when I was making this timeline. I was like, oh my goodness, there's variants everywhere. I love variants ever so much, but this year I feel like, to fill out the year a bit, we got literally trios of variants on the same day. It was so crazy, yo. I love it. Keep them coming. I feel it coming. Epic Socks was based on Those Singing Monsters cartoon. Inside of its bio, it references Soup of the Day, which is Those Singing Monsters bit of concept art that we got revealed towards, and I really love it for that reference. Then moving on to February 27th, oh, Dog Walks, the steps of Epic Wallaby's special stare. I wanted to include this because Dog was honestly a very well-known figure on my channel, obviously, and I don't like to make the gear in review about me, but I do include little tidbits, and I had to include this. Dog means so much to me. He is still my best friend ever. There will be no one like Dog, and I miss him every single day. I will include a little clip. I have a little memento up above where I record, and I see him every single time I record, and that makes me feel so happy because he's always watching even though he's not here. It's just what the special stare. I'll see you one day, Dog. And then on the February 28th, I will admit, this actually made me so happy that this came, because I needed this bit of a break after Dog. We got Rare Screamo. Rare Screamo was based on Chocola's Season of Love, very Season of Love themed. I like how the Rare Wubblins this time, seeing as though we'd already had the Rare Wubblins last year, eventually when we do get onto the months that had them the year before, they got a bit more creative, but this one, another Season of Love reference here. And it's nice as well, we had Rare Fleechworm the month before, so that we could actually have a Crescendo Moon base one. And then moving on to March now. Lots of things happen in March, yo. This was one of the best months. No, well, if we're talking about my favorite months at the end of the year, this was a great month though as well. So on March 1st, we had Adult Glacier. I love the atmosphere behind the teenagerness, incorporating that into Glacier's design, and you really felt the connection towards older Glacier with this, which I found so funny. I don't know what happened to the snow creature from Young Glacier. I guess R.I.P. Oh my goodness. Then on March 3rd or 4th, I don't know what day it was, we got the Thumpies teaser. This was revealed inside of a short where they had all of the Thumpies animating, and then there was just Flutes, which is the Thumpy that you see on screen right now. Because then on March 6th, after this, we got the Thumpies remaster. I love this remaster so much. It gives me a lot of speculation towards what the other spin-off games they could choose to remaster in this kind of format. The Conch Jelly Dreams, come on! I would kill for that so much. I need all of the restored songs, and give me the Water Island one, the Earth Island one, maybe even do the Ethereal. If you did the Ethereal, I would love you. Yes, we Fling a Thing though, Fling a Thing too. I feel like that would be a quite likely contender. Overall, though, this was the perfect one to remaster. Out of all of the spin-off titles, this is the one that you would do. It already had all of the elements behind it. There was not much left for them to honestly redo. It was just the graphics side of things that they really had to concentrate on with this. It was an overall very well-adapted game towards the times as well. It wasn't left behind in any regard. It was very up-to-date and fashionable, and the gameplay suited modern day, and I feel like that can't really be said as much towards some of the other spin-off titles, and they would need a lot of reworking. This one, it was purely themed around being a remaster, but including the scrapped Fumpies, or Fumpies that never really made it in the game and were just seen on the trees and everything in the old version. I loved seeing that so much. I seriously loved all of the drawings too, of all of the locations, and the tying towards the original game and getting to experience that once more was absolutely wonderful. I really did like this one. I loved the little scrapped Easter egg one, and even the end result that you have from collecting all of the Fumpies. It was so worthwhile, this, and I do recommend that you guys check this one out because it was a good game. Then also on March 6th, along with the Fumpies game, we got 7 Fumpies costumes. These were insane. We got a Fumpies costume for every single Fumpy, basically. It was wow. We didn't get one for the sketchy Fumpy and the moon face Fumpy. That's supposed to be a secret, but I guess the game has been out almost a year now. We got one that was the fruit and butter one, which you can only get on mobile after completing, I think it's the 3rd level of the game. That's an oddball decision to keep that away from players. I believe on MSM Live they said that they might reveal it one day to everyone else, so that would be cool hopefully if they do that. But I will say these costumes absolutely were amazing. Now tied to each of the seasonal events too, I love the Boo one and Yuckles, and I think that might be my favorite. They are all adorable though, and I loved the time to that. It was the perfect time to do something like this. As well, on March 6th, we got the Great Tree Bonsai decoration. Unlocked from completing all of the levels in Fumpies. I love having this little tidbit here. Be on my psychic island. It's so cool. I like having a little tree there. Oh, it even has inside of its bio reference towards it being a sapling of the great tree Stablo Magirica. So I do love that. And then on March 13th, we got Epic Fiddle. This one is so cool. They decided to tie into the fairy element a lot with this one. The little shimmers along its dress. It wasn't honestly just a fairy, and I love that. Its little dance around as well, and it's prancing. Oh my god, I'm obsessed. The little horns too. Oh my goodness. I love the way it animates this one. This set the president for the rest of them, and I love them ever so dearly for that. Then we had on March 13th tying to the Fumpies game a bit more Rare Bonkers, tying into the dry patch area, which I'll put on screen right now. On March 30th, oh, Red Tusky. Oh, Tusky. We love Tusky. Tusky, based on Rare Mammoth this time. I love how big it got with this one. The trees on its backside, you really felt the quintessence, as to nickname that promotion there, right? Quintessence behind this quint with this red. So awesome, ginormous, and such dynamic change. It's such a simple design, but it works so flawlessly for Tusky. And then moving on to the Clover Spell costumes we got as well, and some nice ones there. And then we got the Clover Spell decorations. And then on March 26th, oh, the big reveal, Magical Nexus. Woo! This trailer, oh my boy, we knew what was coming at the time, but I love this trailer. It's got so many animated bits. The Denshu's falling, the monsters all going up the special stair, which was in Epic Wallaby's bio. I love that Epic Wallaby actually resembled something more. You see, that is why Wallaby is supreme, boys. Magical Nexus, this trailer, it was awesome to see all of the magicals come together and be revealed towards the stair Shaper for the first time. Definitely a character, or rather characters that we're going to be encountering a lot, I would say, in the future. The Shapers. I'm so excited to delve into the lore a bit more in a lore series, which I have planned sometime, hopefully this year. But I am so excited behind the Shapers. They have a lot of future in store for them, and the design behind Magical Nexus. Because moving on now onto March 26th, what we also got on that day, Magical Nexus itself. Wow, all of the monsters at once, all of the rares, all on the same day. Jesus, I mean, wow. This was just an insane time, yo. Magical Nexus, just wow. I love the transposition aspect. I love everything about this island. I will admit the song, it doesn't necessarily fit the kind of style which I listen to in my free time, but all of the monsters, wow, the way that the sounds were used inside of this. Oh, they each have 4 tracks each. It is absolutely crazy. The animations were so much better on this island. And Pekin are having their own verse. Please, oh my god, Pekin, you are absolutely marvelous, yo. I love the representation behind monsters, maybe getting some more pause on here. It felt like the song was so well done, and Whimsy's, good god, she can carry. She belted it out. I put them in the middle in the full song, as you guys can see here. I mean, we gotta have Whimsy's. I loved it so much, this island. It was so unique having everything there at once. It felt like such an Sugarbush Island moment. Like when we got Sugarbush Island and it all dropped at once. It felt like that, and we've not had that in forever. So that felt really good. It's insane the way they just all came at once. I'm still shocked by that. And then moving on to the rest of March now. You see, March, there's just that much going on, guys. We had Red Hermit as well on March 26th with Magical Nexus. This one, it had the Writ-Rot disease, like to Epic Wubbox, if I'm remembering correctly. It was an awesome idea to bring this disease back that was originally in one of the bios. I thought that was a pretty cool thing. Then, oh, on March 27th. Oh, my boy. Oh, yes, definitely. Oh my goodness. This actually showed me, Bowhead, how much I loved that final verse. You know, I loved it so much. And then Bowhead came. Oh, my heartstrings, and they were pulled to bits. Doing my top 10 reactions earlier, and I was devastated I didn't include this one. I forgot about it. I'm so sorry there were that much this year. But seriously, the adult design too, when I discovered that was absolutely insane. In a weird way, I am more excited sometimes to see the adults in Dawn of Fire just because of how amazing they end up looking. Tusky, oh my god. Then Bowhead, wow. The absolute emotion that this monster portrays in that final verse now, it is very impactful and left me absolutely bewildered by the other editions we got this year. It felt like it did more than anyone though, and honestly, Bowhead, wow, that is perfect. I am really sad you did not go to Party Island though. Why did we not go on Party? That would have been the perfect chance to revitalize the island a bit. I feel like out of any monster ever that should be on 2 islands, it should have been Bowhead. I would seriously, if I could just update Party Island to have Bowhead, it's perfect. I hope that one day it could, even though it's very unlikely now. I think the Outer Islands have finished, but wow, on Space though, it is made for the island. It is absolutely marvelous. Later in the year, it got a volume increase, which was much needed as well. It felt so suited to Space. And literally, even before it came, you could imagine it in the island, and it really showed that prowess inside of the song. I'm so exceptionally happy about Bowhead. Overall, it might even be the best addition to Dawn of Fire this year, I would rate. I think that this one was so good, yo. Now, on March 27th, we got Baby Blabbits. I mean, let's move on to the next one. I talked about them with Baby Smoochalogi. And then we got the 5 extravaganza costumes. We had the Dandy-Doo one. The egg. Oh my, mummy. She got a big head there. A hairdo. Dude. And then on April 1st, we had Adult Blossom. It's so weird to have an April Fool's Day monster here. I remember when Paul Stoner came on Water Island and everyone thought it was a joke. At least this time, because they all came on the 1st, we knew. Then on April 10th, oh, we got a trio of epics here. They kind of came out of nowhere. No event, just random trio. Okay. See, this is what I mean, yo. They bring out random trios of epics all the way through the year. Well, not epics, rares and epics. It's absolutely insane. Epic Flower, and then also we had on April 10th, Epic Bob. These two, they are a family of monsters. It's still pending what their name is. I'm surprised that these bios did not mention that. I love how flower-based these are. It's so cool to have a family of monsters and the whole update and day be themed around this. I am so excited about this. We also got Epic Jelbilly that day. Just a little goofy goober, and I'm all here for it. And then April 17th, we also got Zer and Pentumbra with Ethereal Workshop with Thor. Oh, this is where the workshop started ramping up, baby. When Wave 4 came, Wave 4 onward, that is where workshop just really set off. I mean, I were obsessed from it from beginning. I seriously think, though, that it just got more hype somehow as the waves kept going. It certainly did carry the year. I seriously could not imagine this year without Workshop. The Ethereals have just evolved into something else entirely in the game. I feel like it is seriously the fan favorite class, and it, with rightfully so reason. Oh my god. Zert, little goofball, thoughts. We love it. And then Pentumbra. Oh. Pentumbra, it's the way that it mimics Geode and it hides it inside of its sound. It's so clever and it's so intertwined into the shadow element. We were thinking at the time it's going to be really spooky. How is it going to embrace the shadow element? And then it mimics its shadow, literally the perfect embodiment of the shadow. Just absolutely, I was astounded at this. Pentumbra, one of the best monsters in the game, the idea-wise, the conceptualization. No one could have imagined the way that this would end up being. It was just perfect. Every single thing about it, even its bio and its lore, all of the quads this year, they managed to have such impeccable lore behind them. There was always something with these workshop monsters every single wave that I was going, wow. And this time it was from the ooze, because Pentumbra is the one who causes the ooze all across the Mirror Islands. And I love that little bit of like, oh my goodness, Pentumbra. I love its contributions inside of the song with it going inside of the whale verse. You compare that verse towards before Vention and Pentumbra. It's nothing like what it is now. It's so good with those, and it feels like this was such a monumental monster. Absolutely amazing. April 17th, we also had Epic Vervain with the Sooner kit. The Soonest kit critter that came out of it, and also caused a little sneeze there. Oh, it's so adorable, though. This is another great Epic seasonal once again. I seriously think the Epic seasonals improved on the original seasonals design so heavily, and that is in part why I'm so excited with the Epic Mythicals now as well. We also had a rare Pluck Bill on the April 17th, and them having no mouth. Thank God. Oh my God, I love this. Okay, it's long been a fan thing for Pluck Bill to just have no mouth. People literally were thinking and making these videos on what if it didn't, because its concept art looked better without it, and then to finally have no mouth, that was a big deal. Then we also had Echoes of Eco costumes, a cool one for Reynolds based on Grapefruit Grove, the game, one of the berries inside of that. Hopefully they continue the trend of making costumes based on Grapefruit Grove. I would love that. And also the Echoes of Eco decorations being based on the Grapefruit Grove game. Oh, and then on April 25th, the Dulcetta name reveal for the Fire Haven, Fire Oasis, and Amber Island Colossal, because all of those islands inhabit the same colossal spirit inside of them. Dulcetta, though, I love that name so much. I'm so glad this year we encountered more colossal names. It raises my eyebrows a little bit where we heard this before the Colossi. I'm wondering what is happening with that. Then moving on as well, on April 25th, the same day, we got my theory on the Mirronauts. The Mirronauts were basically meant to be elementals affiliated with the Mirror Islands themselves, because we have the Ethereals that are based on them, quite obviously, with the natural islands, and then the Mirronauts were supposed to be the magical equivalent of that. And we also theorized about the magical Mirror Islands and the Fire Mirror Islands. They're not there yet. Quite yet, but the Mirror ended up coming to the Paranormals later in the year, and the Mirror Islands did end up being based on the Outer Islands as well, and I feel like this was quite a revolutionary theory, so I included it in today. Then moving into May now. Oh, I love this year. Then on May 1st, we had Rare Mulch. Oh my goodness, this was a huge blobby blob. Then on May 1st as well, we had Adult Syncopite. I know lots of people love Adult Syncopite. Ghostympa did them up a lot on Celestial Scarscape. It was so cool over there. I think that this one, being based on rap, the medal, a really big community favorite we have on our hands here. May 11th. Oh my goodness, that weekend we got that trailer. So many updates this year that were just game-changing in not quite as scattered of a fashion, but these one-off big drops, I feel like, this year. And the map, we have been waiting for a map update since the end of last year, where they finally teased it. It was September, and then almost a year later, we got this revealed towards the map. I love the animations they revealed for the loading theme and the map music we got with the map. Oh, it was seriously marvelous. We got Mimic inside this trailer as well. We were theorizing that it could be another expansion monster. I love this trailer ever so dearly. It did a perfect job of encapsulating the lore behind the monster world, the donut shape, how it is what it is, and it feels like a very monumental trailer towards the game. I'm so glad that people found this to be as big as what I did in a sense. I know that the map, it's one of those things where it's not necessarily a new monster or whatever, but I feel like lots of people really zone into this, and I just really love that personally. Because on May 15th, the week after, we got the Tauros map. We got all of the new sections indicating the different dimensions, lots and lots of detail towards the actual monster world itself. Now that if you go in game, it feels like it's such a seamless experience in the lore itself, and knowing how the world is structured, it feels like you can get engrossed in the game a lot more over past maps, and it even feels like there's room for expansion, lots of room for theory. It makes the world feel fresh in your mind, and I can't explain enough how seamless experiences. They've even included the little wheel at the side that makes it very easy to use the old method if you such and choose, but going around the Tauros map is definitely the way to do it if you want to feel that magical whimsy that My Singing Monsters just is so good at. It feels like this map was a much needed change now that we can reflect on what was and what is. Even the new pins, they were absolutely amazing. I love this. Then on May 15th, we also got the island intros on the same day. These featured new logos for each of the islands. I am so obsessed with all of them. The original ones that we've never seen before getting these brand new logos. It was absolutely extraordinary, and it adds to that experience of getting a new island so heavily. I am yet to wait for a new island where I can discover it for the first time and see that intro, though. I am waiting for that day, yo. Then on May 15th, we had Mimic 2. Oh, his little goofy bun. Oh, Mimic did such a good job. Oh, I mimicked the ones that I was least anticipating for it. So it mimics Spirit and Gobblegod. I was saying this is gonna be a meme catastrophe if it did that, and it did it, and it is funny, and I just love Firebase's embracing that now. Mimic did a perfect job of doing what Mimic does best inside of this, and I love that. May 15th, we also had Wubbox on Fire Oasis. This one, I felt like it was really cool. The animations were a bit weird and stuttery, but the sound, they went real hard. Fire Oasis got a lot of updates this year, and I couldn't be any more pleased. Then on May 15th, Epic Spirit, as I have wrote here. We were saying in the theories, because it was based on the super ego theory, the theory of egos, right? That it is going to likely be a much more heavenly counterpart, and then this buff dude coming out of nowhere. That was just the most unexpected thing. It literally looks like Hercules. The hat underneath, it just knows what it is, and it does it best at knowing how to embrace that and make it even more weird. And then on May 15th, we also got Epic Fangler, based on the Monsterana trenches once more. Then on May 15th, we got the 4 perplexed ball costumes. This was an absolute field day for me, honestly. Because we got a wallaby costume on that day too, and the observatory bum. Frostnice. I can't. I still find that so funny. And then on May 15th, we got the perplexed ball decorations as well. And around the May 22nd, I'm not sure the exact date behind this, we got a Pentumbra sound update. They took out the rascally tone. It had much more of a nasal, like, underbelly behind this sound, and they made it a lot more refined, and I love this version a lot more, so I'm glad they did do that. Moving on to our next timeline for May, because it's that much in May. On May 29th, we had Rare Zucker. Rare Zucker, I love this little tail. It's a goofy grubbered guy on my board. Then on May 29th, we had the Humatite Castles too. I really like how this one, they decided to go into Humatite. We have referenced inside of bios before, this crystal, this mineral rather, that is used throughout the lunar apparatus and all of the mythical island structures, and to see that be revitalized inside of the mythical island castles. We obviously have used all of the Dawn of Fire crystals at this point. It's a very revolutionary concept, and I hope that they do manage to hopefully bring out some more crystals like to this in the future for future castles. Maybe just making ones up, I think, is the right way to go. So that's kind of exciting to picture what those might be, and also think about in terms of the lore how those might suit into what we already know. Hopefully they managed to establish that quite well, that connection. Then on May 29th, we had the final month of the mythical. This featured Popcross's awesome artwork on the loading screen. They did an amazing job, wow, doing this, and it made me think of how much I would love the community to be more involved in the game itself. Popcross, they do such awesome works, but imagining people who are in the community 24/7, who make content, animations, everything all the time, who are really engrossed in it, I could not wait for that moment. I am so pleased with their artwork, though. They did just an amazing job. Major bravo to them. I am so happy for them. That artwork and that loading screen was seriously maybe even the best one that I've ever seen. It was absolutely amazing. And we also had on that day a trailer which revealed basically the whole month of content. That was kind of strange, but absolutely wild, and just summarize this year with variants. Moving on to June though now, which is month of the mythical. For our final month of the mythical, we had Adult Vamp on the first day of June. Adult Vamp.
Actually, I mean, it's a pretty cool design, but it's okay. Okay, moving on.
On to June 5th, we had Epic Monculus then, based on Pyrosite. Pyrosite, we basically knew that it'd be Pyrosite, right? Monculus originally is based on Crystallium, the crystal that is found in the Ethereal Island castles. We thought it's going to go to Pyrosite with the Fire Island crystal, and yes, it did. Absolutely amazing design, this one. The rift-like gas and galaxy-like materials coming from this really exude that astral, otherworldly appearance of Monculus. I really did like this epic. It felt like it was the culmination of everything that these epic seasonals were leading up towards. The animations were story-like to Wubbox again for some reason, but I will say I cannot wait for this one on Wobbling Island 2. Yes, I am waiting for it still. Hopefully it can come next year or whenever it will be, because my oh my, I need those animations on Wobbling. That will be monkey epic. Moving on to June 5th again, though, on the same day, we got Rare Cherubble. Rare Cherubble, they're just a little cute one, aren't they? They had a unique name for the critters around this one. Instead of blubberflies, they're called alginons, I believe it is called. I think this one is absolutely so cute, though. I can't wait to see the epic critters around it. We had then as well Life Formula costumes. They got really creative with these, embracing Crystallium from Monculus. We had the Life Formula decorations as well with the Blueprint Workshop, which is apparently what the Colossals use to construct the Ethereals from. I think that's a really nice one, to be honest. Even the rare Monculus pot there, like what it says inside of its bio, that they keep the tools in there. We see you, monster handlers, and we like it. And we also had Rebro's telescope with this. I feel like there was lots of clever references with these decorations, which makes me love Life Formula, my favorite seasonal event, all the more. Then on to June 12th, we had, whoa, look at this one. They are circular. They are huge. They are epic. Nebula, Cassie always coming for me more. Then on June 12th, we also got rare, yeah, based on bananas. I thought this one was so funny. It just represents them rare, yeah, antique really well. It's slipping around on the bananas. That is just hilarious. Coinciding with those animations where it literally looks like it might be slipping is perfect, yo. We also got Epic Suzer on June 12th. Really nice addition to the Pommelate. I love the hair on that one. It felt like the animations were so cool. And then, June 18th. Oh, this was such a good day. Workshop Wave 5. Whaleverse. Oh my goodness. It finally came. The Whaleverse. The sound that we had heard. Well, you guys had heard and I was waiting for. And then we finally got the verse. And I could not believe it this day. It was absolutely amazing. I had no idea it would sound this good. Oh my goodness. And then Tia Tara and Riv Smith too. Oh. Tita Tata as acrobatic duo. Oh. And Riz Smith. Oh. Riz Smith had so much to song, and my goodness, its design is so wacky and crazy. Minecraft themed. What in the world was going on there? It felt like it was another worldly kind of design. We'd never had anything like that before, and it captured it so well and embraced that with its sounds. It felt like such an ominous, peculiar, and outplaced monster, but it fit perfectly as well. I'm not sure how they did that. Tita Tata, I loved their little breaths and it mimicking the castle. It felt like it added so much flow, in particular towards the castle, and integrating that seamlessly more inside of the song. Not that it wasn't already, it just excelled it even more. But then Whale, oh, Whale, oh, Whale the first. Oh. I love singing to Whale. Whale makes me so happy. That final verse, it was so emotional. It felt otherworldly. I loved Workshop this year. The adventure, it was so awesome. The island adventure, I have never had an island adventure, so to speak, as fun as Workshop. The theories, everything that came together, it felt like it was the absolute epitome of an MSM island, and what I would love for all of them to be like. I seriously think that this journey was so good. Well, then also on June 18th, we had Rare Pixelotl and Composer Island Ghast. Such a peculiar thing to have here. Composer Island Ghast, it just kind of came out of nowhere. Inside of the Composer app, you could choose to bring over Ghast to Composer Island. It was like accepting that Composer Island, some people still like to use that, and I did like it for that fact, but also it made me think how cool it would be to have the Composer content in the original game. I want to see the original islands be. I would love if they made it DLC or something. I would love that so much. And also it'd give them chance to maybe update like they used to do with the Colosseum. I would really appreciate that, because the Composer community is thriving, and it feels weird to have it locked away on the app that isn't necessarily updated quite as much. Overall though, I loved seeing Ghast. It was an addition that honestly was well fitted, because people have through other means found ways to have Ghast on Composer Island before. So I mean, it was already there kind of, so having it there properly, well, it felt right. Then on June 19th, we had Rare Clacula. The long awaited one, that one, wasn't it? Then we also had Rare Anglo as well on that day. Very cool design, that one. I like the tentacle coming from it. Then we also had on June 26th, oh, Rare Bazinga. Rare Bazinga, they hyped it up a lot, because at the end of the month of the mythical trailer, they showed every single variant for the entire month. I still do not fathom that. They showed all of them. Then they showed this teaser to Rare Bazinga. And Rare Bazinga is my favorite. So they showed a teaser to it, and then I saw it on the day, and I honestly don't like it that much. I don't like the recolor blue. It just feels not the best to me. That was redeemed, though, later on in the year with the Epic, as we will get on to, so no worries there. Then on June 26th, we got the sky painting costumes. Oh, these were so good. I love Flores's hair inside of that one costume. That was a really good one. We also had the 4 sky painting decorations that day, one based on the prison gate. Nice to see the prison gate there, especially with it having maybe an important upcoming aspect towards itself in the original game, which we are likely to see in an update real soon. We also had the globe one. I really like the globes being represented for sky painting. It feels like those are the perfect characters to represent it alongside Whizbang, and I'm so glad they do that. Moving on to July though now with adult Galvana. Oh, this one, taking on that teenager sports vibe. I would not have seen this coming, but honestly, it's kind of cool. I can't wait to see Elder Galvana in the original game, though. I feel like it could have been cooler, but it is cool because Galvana, right, it is such an lore-heavy monster, and it is one of my favorites. It shocked me that they did choose to do such a design like this, and I remember all of the comments at the time saying how maybe it could have been better, but honestly, pretty cool in my opinion. Then moving on to July 3rd, we got Epic Whizbang. Whizbang, Epic. The Epic, this one, we were saying it has to be a storm cloud, and then it's just a shimmering storm cloud. That is the most Whizbang thing you can do. I'm still surprised they didn't do the thunderstorm in the animation, but it's a really cool reference, and I believe the colors are meant to represent pride in some form. Someone in the comments can point out what exactly that reference is, because I know that the colors are very specific. Then we had Epic Reptilo on July 10. This one was such an awesome design. It's holding those weird ornaments, acorn, pebble things. Pebbles, weren't they? They were pebbles. This design, it was absolutely amazing. The hair, I love Rockwall hair. I do love this design. Jungle theme too. Oh my god. And then on July 17th, we got the Summer Song trailer, and inside of it, we got very unexpectedly a reveal to the Workshop Wave 6. Oh boy! Oogiddy came along. Oogiddy, because we got to get giddy for Oogiddy, right? Oogiddy. Oh my goodness. I could not believe that this came then. That basically they'd been releasing in 3-month intervals, and then all of a sudden we had this, and it was basically to throw us off of Bemibirth, but it didn't work because everyone still expected Bemibirth. They expected a Quint still, so I guess some things just are hard to come by, Emerson, when you want to prank us all. You didn't get us later in November, though, as we'll go over. With Oogiddy, they embraced the toxic element really well again. All of the quads did in some form, but the alien nature behind it, I felt like embraced the ethereal class more even so than the poison element itself. It feels like such a clumsy monster, this one, but the sounds are quite impactful. I feel like Oogiddy in particular, it really helps with the segue into the other verses along with Ridsmith. I feel like that is the main component that this manages to do. But when he gets excited inside of the song too, that is just, it's so cute. Then on July 17th, along with Oogiddy, we got the final synthesizer upgrade, and the reason why I'm bringing this up is because that bio, the bio inside of it, it teased that whatever was growing at the top, it could be unleashed eventually. This was the teaser towards the Workshop Quint, and my goodness, the build-up and everything, it made it absolutely amazing. I feel like something that MSM might need to realize is the fact that when you have obvious things like this, it adds to the anticipation sometimes, and not everything needs to be a pranked got you moment. I feel like the synthesizer and everything building up to it, and then it finally coming out, that was what made Bemibirth so special in a sense. So they don't need to worry about the pranking us sometimes. And then on July 17th, we had the default monster names randomizer too. So now inside of the monster tab, you can choose when you're selecting a name to randomize between all of the default names. I think this is a really cool feature. Then we also got Epic Zillion that day. I mean, it's a huge asteroid-like thing. The reason why I'm laughing is because I was saying, I remember at the time, there is no chance the poison quad will come today when I saw Epic Gazillion, and then it came like 5 seconds later. A really cool tie-in though with Ugadi. Definitely the best Epic to choose to release alongside them. It felt like a really cool match, this one. Then on July 17th, we got the 4 Summer Song costumes. Got little Dandy Doo's Growl Monster outfit, and Epic Clown Ball's probably the main one, but yeah, scuba diving suit, that probably was the most fan loved as well. Even Flower, the Flower one, that actually, oh, I didn't include the Dawn of Fire costumes in here, didn't I? Oh, I'm so sad now. That's so weird as well, because I did for the 2 that released, like, but the costumes, let's actually segue into that really quick here. They released costumes for Season of Love, Extravaganza, and Summer Song for Dawn of Fire this year. They were absolutely amazing, and the lands, they decorated them for each event as well. I felt like the Earth lands in particular for Summer Song was so reminiscent towards the Earth Island tiling. I love the floor, particularly with the Earth Island Summer Song one. The Earth lands on the continent, it felt like it fit it really well and changed it up a lot. I loved the War Island Extravaganza, seeing the eggs scattered around. The Season of Love one, I remember they dressed up the skyship for that one in particular. That was a really nice change as well, wasn't it? Oh, I'm so sorry I didn't include that. There was that much this year though. There's always a lot. And then on July 17th, we got Dawn of Fire Hula. I think having an addition to the Pomverse, it's been such a highly anticipated thing, but it's just another squeaker squawker, unfortunately. I really think that it's kind of cute though, the design. I can remember everyone was saying in the comments that it was like a minion, so if you guys see the resemblance here, bravo. Moving on to July 17th too, we got Gnolls and Dawn of Fire. Oh my goodness, oh, I love this one. You know, Gnolls, I could not believe the way they integrated so seamlessly onto Cave Island. It felt like it would have such a hard job there, but it just came as such a natural fit, this one. We were thinking this would be the last Dawn of Fire Outer Island and Constant update too. But we had a lot coming down. This one, and the continent to the end of the song, it just brings so much atmosphere once again, akin to Bowhead to that end section. It makes me love it ever so much. I could not complain, you know. If they just continued adding to that verse solely, it's not going to happen, is it, with the rest of the mythicals? I doubt. But I think if they just continued with this trend, because they are making it such an excellent part inside of the song, I would love that ever so much. Gnolls, it was absolutely adorable. It touched my heartstrings so dearly in a way that the epicness of Gnolls I never thought would be able to, but it did it so perfectly, and I am left still so confused how these sounds managed to captivate on a feeling that I never thought Gnolls would be able to do, and it's so exceptionally well. Wow. July 17th, we got Prismatic Tuskegee. The one with the eyes going around everywhere is the one that I've put on screen. The green one, I mean, come on, what? This was funny, yo. And wow. July 18th, we also got the workshop Play Your Part beginning. I've included this because Play Your Part, I felt like it was a really big part of this year when I was doing my year in review, and I wanted to ensure that it was capitalized on as much as possible, that this was a big event for MSM this year. Every single person in the community, it felt like, was submitting these incredible submissions. I even got dressed up myself as the workshop characters. It felt like this thing was viral, this contest. I have never seen anything like it. It somehow has twice more views than the original Play Your Part. It has probably more than twice. It is one of the most fundamental things, I think, that made Mice New Monsters up this year, and I think that is why they tried to do lots of content after it. But the whole lead up to Bemoth, everything around this, the workshop hype at the time, it was hard for this not to be. And in order to do this kind of a successful thing again, I just, the way that this was formatted, I feel like it would be so hard, because the game, it was the perfect time to do this, and I am so glad they did. Play Your Part is one of the best things that the community contests have to offer. We need more, and we need them for the next island. We also had on July 31st the Festival Goer costume. We had a whole live concert where they teased lots of upcoming variants, rare catalyst, rare Epic Bookworm, and then rare Gloptic was teased in it, wasn't it, from memory there. We also had this costume though that was given away for free. I felt like it was an awesome event. It was so cool to have a live concert like this. It's something that you'd not expect, but it was something to remember for the year. And then moving on to August now. Oh, on August 2nd, we have something that I don't usually include, which is a fan made, but this has touched my heart, and I believe it has touched yours as well, and I feel like it's not often that a fan made can do this, but it has made its way on my year in review. This cannot be left out. Wow, the way it influenced the community. I felt like I was having an ongoing battle before this in trying to convince everyone inside of my theories and everything there should be a hex elemental, and then Lyriccle comes along and it shows the world why there should be one. The way that this musically touched my heart because of how it reminisced back to the history behind the game. It showed how much of an influential monster it could be if this hex came. It is the culmination of the original class. It's a celebration of that, and it's done in such a perfect way where I feel like even MSM might struggle to even come close to the impact that this managed to have. The way that it came through when it played the monster world from the map music, it seriously, it can't be understated how perfect it is. Even the Dawn of Fire theme that it plays on the continent, and it plays it so perfectly, and it fits in the song in a way that makes you go, how is it doing that? How did something so majestical and magical manage to touch us so inside of this? It was honestly one of the best things inside of this year, definitely the best thing of the month. It was uncanny. This, I could not, seriously, it made me very emotional, and I love Lyriccle so much. I'm getting emotional now. Come on, MPG. That's silly. August 7th then, we had Rare Bowhead. Rare Bowhead based on a mermaid, referencing Rare Toejammer in the bio, but we kind of strayed away from the rare single elementals for this, and then Rare Knolls as well, which was a bit weird, but I've seen something to solve that trend, but I will admit, the hair on this, whoa! This design was absolutely cool. I really do like it a lot. Rare Catalyst came on August 7th, the first of the rare Dream Mythicals. If you want to include Catalyst, it basically is the start of them, right? We saw them come along. There was a teaser, a video. They started doing these videos later in the year, didn't they? These documentary, sci-fi like ones where you'd have to deduct what they might mean through very ambiguous means, which was a lot of fun. Then on August 7th, we also got the Mind Boggle costumes for the year. Wow! These were each based on story tales. I'm not too familiar with the fairy story tales of America, so do bear with me here, but we have one from Caroline, I know that obviously. Then we have a Glimmering Shark one, and also the Bowhead one, tying towards American fairy tale kid stories. I thought that was an awesome idea, seeing as Mind Boggle is basically all about that. And Bowhead, whoa. Just a completely different variant here. I mean, coming on the same day as Rare Bowhead, I had comments saying, is this the rare instead? Now that is when you know you've done a good, cool costume. On August 7th, we got the Mind Boggle decorations. These were basically reiterations on the island skin. They'd already drawn these out. They just took them from the island and plopped them here, which, fair enough, they had done magnificent sets of decorations other than Big Hereafter before. They were all absolutely amazing, so I'm so thrilled that they did do that many in the end. Then on August 14th, we got Rare Gloptic. Rare Gloptic, little slimy guy. And then on August 14th, we got Epic Bookworm. Based on the moth. Oh, I was saying around that time, I really want a moth monster. And then Epic Bookworm comes along. Wow! down. Now, the biblios were actually referenced inside of the decorations earlier. The bookworm holds all of the bookworms. I like that a lot too. What a reference inside of the bios. But this one, oh my, I love how it has the seasonal shanty critter on it. That is the adorable cherry on top of the cake. The wings, the majestic nature that this one conveys. It's absolutely marvelous, and it's such a big differentiation from the original bookworm. It shows you that when you put your mind to it, even when monsters might feel quite static, like to Caralong, just giving them dynamic elements and thinking out of the book, out of what traditionally you might suspect from this, it can lead to very unique and quirky designs. Just like to Epic Bookworm, I seriously hope that every single Epic Mythical, uniquely animated Epic even, takes a page out of Epic Bookworm's book. And then on August 28th, Bemebeth, the Play Your Parts premiered on this day. Before Bemebeth even released and we were seen to it for the first time, I can remember being so confused that day, so excited. I can remember even making, yes, monkey noises. The Bemebeth reveal, it was animated really well. I loved the unique music in the background, even hinting towards its sounds. And it's so funny that inside of the trailer, it played the whole song and we didn't even realize till it came that it actually was extending the song. Just wow. I love the player part so much this year. Then on September 4th, we had the Ethereal Gwent arriving. Bemebeth! Oh, I so love it so much. Oh, Bemebeth is the workshop. It seriously is. It's the perfect end to it, having Landon come in who voiced Bemebeth through the talk box and embrace that. It's such a perfect move. I feel like English vocals, they're kept out of the game for a reason, but in this case it just works so flawlessly and it surprises me so much. This had so much great reception behind it. I'd argue that it's honestly as fan loved as the Wubboxes. Such a monumental monster, this. The way it was 4x4 once again, set up for those Titan Souls to come later in Anniversary Month at the very end too, didn't it? The 4x4, oh, just wow, I want more 4x4 monsters. It felt so cool to have this ginormous, highly detailed monster inside of the game. The way they extended the song was so perfect, it really would not have fit. And you could tell too. Before Bemebeth, I was literally saying when Oogity was there, there's something missing, you can feel it, and then it came and it was everything. It was the perfect island. I love Workshop and it is my favorite island. There you go. I love Workshop. I have to say it's my favorite after Bemebeth. I was struggling between Mythical for a long time, but just Workshop, this journey, this everything that it means to me, it's so special. It's such an heartwarming thing, and the way that its lyrics are perfect too and fitting the experiments of Zarawi and the lore itself. It's honestly everything that I could have ever wished for vocal-wise, just tying to the lore itself. Wow. And then we also had, on September 4th, the Wublin Island Rare Wubbox. We had it a bit like to what we were theorizing at the time. Lots of errors and becoming almost nightmarish, like to what the misheard lyrics over the years, what people have come up with, are meant to be phrased as. It was really awesome to see. Yeah, I'm not sure why the Fire Oasis Rare Wubbox is there, but that does not fit the theme, MPG. Then on September 4th, we had, oh, Epic Wubbox and Yarstridge. These Epic Yarstridge is absolutely amazing. You know, when I was talking about Epic Bookworm earlier, they took all the pages out. Epic Yarstridge, wow, the huge feathers on it. It'd be much more ostrich-like, was absolutely wonderful. Even Epic Gajoon, quite a unique flippery counterpart there. Ooh. Then we also had, on September 4th, this was just a mythical extravaganza. We had Gajoob in Dawn of Fire. Gajoob, oh, we actually, extended the song some more, didn't it, Gajoob? Because Tusky plays once more inside of the song with Gajoob now. It feels like that is such a perfect fit and might be setting up for things later to come, hopefully, too, because I feel like there definitely needs to be a little bit more for that. The reasoning there why that was done, but Gajoob in the ending as well, perfect addition. But let's talk about the real guns of the show here. Oh, we're all crying. You're all crying. I'm crying. Dawn of Fire, Yarstridge. Oh, it's such an ugly thing, but it's one of those ugly moments that works so seamlessly like dessert. Oh, it works perfect. You don't see it coming, and then it just has the most beautiful lyrics and best sounding vocal in the whole franchise. I cannot believe how this managed to captivate on that final verse and bring something to it that I adore so much. That final verse is quickly becoming, well, it already is my favorite verse in the whole franchise, and seeing Yarstridge there was so uncanny. It was such a conflicting moment at the same time, though, to have this monster that is clearly so ugly be so pretty. But I think it's a good thing to show that not all things are what they seem, and the outward appearances aren't always accurate. And then moving on to September 4th, we had the Mirror Island song remix on the same day. We got basically all the anniversary updates on one day. They probably should have separated this out a bit, but I ain't complaining. We had the Mirror Island remixes on the Natural Islands. These were a bit up in the air. They weren't necessarily done as good as what they potentially could have been. The remixes that have been put up on Spotify and Apple Music over the years, they are a lot better over the remixes that were actually provided inside of the game. And honestly, I feel like these have a lot left to be longed for inside of them. It felt like they were very stuttery. They weren't utilizing the monsters wholly. It was very segmented in the way that they'd use them. Specific monsters would only play in one part, for example, and it felt like a bit of a mess. They did eventually fix Air Island, particularly. That one was really bad. They chose to remove certain monsters, such as Yarstridge playing at the beginning. That was a huge no-no. But Cold Island, Mirror Cold Island, that was a jam. I love that one. When the beat drop hits, that's when you know that Mirror Cold is vibing. And on September 4th, we had VoidCon. VoidCon, oh my goodness, this was where we started to adventure into dangerous, scary territory, and I am all here for it. With the paranormals later in the year, and this, yeah, I love that they actually reference VoidCon. This is why it's on a point of its own, because VoidCon over the years, it's been in news bulletins, it's been in the Colosseum, and to finally have it be canonized in a sense, it's really awesome to see. Then we also had the Colosseum conclude on the same day. I'm so glad that the Colosseum has ended now. It kept getting updates, and honestly, I was really actively seeking for them to stop doing that, because it felt like they need to put their resources into things that players really do care about. I feel like some people like the Colosseum and that is cool, but for the most part, lots of people just seem to ignore it. I feel like, for that reason, I'm glad it's ended, but we got the awesome lore that the Colosseum provided with the column casts that were added to the game. These decorations, finally having in-game that lore that was revealed on MSM Live between the Tribal Island and Colosseum Colossals, and how they had a bit of a feud there, and eventually how they seeked out to help prevent the cataclysm. Such an awesome tidbit then. Nice to have that lore in game finally. Then on September 4th as well, with these casts, we got Lanyester and Amnesia, the colossal names behind the Tribal Island and Colosseum Colossals, basically confirming there will be no Colossi for these. As to be expected, Joe. I love those names too. They're so cute. And then on September 11th, we've got Prismatic Bowhead. Oh, this was a really cool one, based on individual plants and cacti. I really liked that. Then on September 18th, they fixed My Singing Monsters Playground. I was so shocked behind this. My Singing Monsters Playground, literally from the moment it released, everyone was saying it needs multiplayer, and they just basically never added it. Even before the game released, where is the multiplayer? Everyone was saying it needs it or it's not gonna really succeed, and it finally got it. I managed to play with Monster Handler Ben on it, and it was so cool. I was so happy. I played with Daily Dose of MSM on it as well. I was so happy. It plays really well, the multiplayer. You guys should go and check it out. Playground is now worth checking out because it's actually really fun with the multiplayer. Then on September 18th, we also had the Playground costumes. I felt like these really showed me just how much of a change maybe over what I expected that the original Playground costumes had inside of that game. I just felt like they were just colored variants, but when you put them on the monsters like these costumes, it makes me realize how much effort went into them individually, and they're actually quite cool. So an awesome set there. Then we also had more things in September with prismatic gnolls. Oh, this one, it looked like Epic Noggin almost. The legs on this, I loved the alien ooze and seeing how they differed it up from each one. I like how they took a stride away from what prismatics usually are in the whole body being that color usually, and doing something unique with that one. I appreciate this one a lot for that. Then on September 28th, oh, the bugs at the cradle. Oh, the video by Rod Zebra. This was my favorite video that I have ever watched and probably will remain, so it's going to be hard to beat that one. Seeing the shape of the dream space come forward, it was a magical moment. I've always seen lots of fan theories behind the moon being the shaper, basically, like the stair shaper of the mythicals themselves, and to have that confirmation and be done in an animated way, the 2D style. I'm a sucker for 2D. I love hand-drawn 2D. It was so good. I want more of this, though. It helped flesh out the lore and world of Mythical Island in a way that you couldn't do otherwise. It took us out of the Mythical Island space that we see in trailers. It went beyond it. It showed us the dream space. You know what I mean? It felt like we went beyond what we would traditionally see, and you can't do that otherwise. And it was done so characteristically. The way that Catalyst is wobbling around, it felt so magical and so fleshed out. Raw knows their monsters so well. It shows that the community can just excel the game in different directions, and I really hope that they have took a little bit of inspiration from this and getting the community involved in other ways, because the community is my singing monsters. The game is nothing without the community, in my opinion. I feel like the community carries the game so heavily, and I want to see an island with fan-made monsters, that fan creators coming in, getting involved. I want to see that come true. I want to see more projects like this. I want to see them commission people to do this, maybe even just give them the chance to. There's so much inspiration here, and I feel like it leads onto a much bigger conversation that I hope that they are having. Rather, I cannot believe the way you did this. The cute Pikmin-like style character, and it being like a golem, it reminded me of Hilda. It was done in such a awesome way. Even the beginning, it felt like it was such an excellent segue into going deeper into the lore. It felt like it was the funny moment before the storming, and that is something that you often do need, and you just can see that the amount of love. It just felt like the game coming together, and I want to see more of it. I desperately need more, please. Then moving on to October. After September was my favorite month, just so we're clear. On October 5th, we got the soul searching trailer. I've got to say, I know it's on screen, so I'm looking at it, but I do love that custom artwork. I thought that was so clever after I watched the trailer. Having the Phosphor and Phlox be huge because it's supposed to reminisce onto the Titan itself and be its spiritual avatar counterpart as it's been revealed. It's so perfect. I love how we finally saw what happens to the outer islands inside of this. I'm hoping that they keep the Cataclysm very secretive still. I feel like some elements behind that always need to be kept in a way quite secretive, or otherwise we need something else to be theorizing about, if you know what I mean. I feel like this, though. Oh my goodness, my mind was exploding. This was one of the best trailers I have ever seen from them. Wow, maybe even the best. The reveal towards a new class at the end, and them being humongous and beautiful. I love the Titan Souls class. It is by far just so amazing. I love the paranormals as well. It feels like these classes, they really put a lot of thought into how they should operate so that they can do lots of unique things with them, and we can still theorize just as much as we always have. I left a lot to be longing for with the Colossi. It felt like they were not done at all very well. The Colossals, in comparison to the Titans are done perfectly. They have such magnificent designs. The blooming flower and then it coming to life, it felt like it was a perfect encapsulation of the island itself. I love how the stair shaper got particularly involved in this process though, and the mirror magical islands obviously getting revealed inside of this too was quite an audacious. I love the shaper's involvement with that and incorporating lore into those when you really didn't need to is a magnificent choice if I've ever seen one. Then October 9th, after that, wow, just wow. Titan Souls, we got the Fostering Flocks and Light Island Awakening. Everything that we wanted the Colossals to be. This is amazing. They need to go back and rework the Colossals. They were just lame compared to this. This is it. This is everything I could have ever dreamed for from a Soul counterpart. This Phosphorin Flux, I am still in shock with how it embraces the island. It uses the mana, essentially, of the island itself and captivates on it all around the island, makes it sounds from the island, and it acts as a conductor. This is the kind of genius My Singing Monsters idea that you just otherwise could not think of. Yes, I will admit, when I was coming up with my theories, I had wrote down, for some reason I didn't mention it, I had wrote down Titan Sea, as I remember, Titan embodied monsters, but I could never have predicted the conductorness, the way that it was so luminescent, grand, and the encapsulation of that, the way that the design looked otherworldly and alien, and it strode in its path to make itself unique and but also beloved. It is an absolutely exceptional design. It is magnificent, and it evokes that Wubbox sense that I have been longing for, and I feel like for that reason you are an absolutely great setup for the rest of the Titan Souls. It is by far what I am most looking forward to in that side of the game as of right now. It's alongside the Dawn of Fire Mythicals. So exciting. Then also on October 9th we got the Mirror Magical Islands, half of which was based on the Outer Islands and then half is based on the original island. I still find that really weird. I like the edits that I showed inside of the reaction to that where they made it the full island. I love that so much. I feel like that's a lot better, but these designs, I feel, wow, they went out of the park with these compared to the original Mirror Islands, especially if you do the taking away of the half which doesn't look like it and just duplicate it. It looks so much better, yo. It is so lit. They put so much detail into these. It is actually insane. The way to, for Cave, for example, they did something quite unique there with the floor tiling, but still encapsulated it very well. Very, very cool. They also had new songs, seeing as though we'd been introduced to this with the original islands as well. That was setting up this, wasn't it? We had the Light Island, Mirror Light. I've even seen people saying they like that version more. These were done really well. Mirrorbone, not particularly my favorite Mirror Fairy though. Oh, it's an absolute vibe, that one. And Mirror Psychic, that's some really good ones here. I'm glad the remix has got a lot better. They really did show us that they can do it, and hopefully they will with the Mirror Fire Islands when they come to. I am so excited for those. Then on October 9th, we got the unique Titan skin and Mirror Island obstacles. Previously not in game. Now the obstacles on the Mirror Islands and Titans for plant, cold, air, water earth, they have unique obstacles. I think that these are really cool and artistically give that flair off towards what these Titan skins and just skins in general are trying to accomplish there. Very cool. We also had the places of interest added on October 9th. So now if you go along the map, you can see different lore locations like the Gemmalands be explained a little bit more. I like that a lot for new players, getting a bit of lore there and encapsulating that in the game itself. We also had then the week after, October 16th, Rare Knolls and Spootical. Ooh, based on birch wood. I felt that this was a pretty cool design there. I feel like lots of people love gnolls, and for that reason, I'm glad that the gnolls fans out there got a really awesome design for the rare. Then on October 16th, we also got red bleeding. Oh, I love this so much. Oh, it makes my heartstrings pop. I love it. Red bleeding is based on a snowflake, right? Because all of the mythicals, they were originally thought to be more suited towards other islands. Like Gajoob looks like some cold island, so the dream mythicals now, they're framing them as being on those islands that people thought they would be on. I'm so excited now to see rare Sparo next in the Season of Love. Oh, that's going to be quite exciting to see it be based on the Earth Island variant. Ooh, and that's going to be cool. But red bleeding is one of my favorite monsters, and it was so exciting to me to have a design that I really liked. I'm not going to lie, after Prismatic Wallaby and I'm just and representing, I'm just really happy that this one turned out so awesome and cool. I can't wait for Red Echidna and Red Capricorn. They're gonna have such awesome designs, I'm sure. Red Bleatnik carries it so much. Oh, seriously, that is the one variant that just carried the second half of the year to me, alongside a certain epic coming up. And then on October 16th, we had a Spootical costumes come in once again here, proving that the costumes just seem to be variants of themselves at this point. The Call of Cthulhu one, Shellbeat one. What even is that? I mean, wow. The rest of them, we had some old ones returning. The Drumpler one, which eventually made its way to Epic Drumpler, which is why it never released. Finally, actually did release though. It came back. I'm quite surprised they made that move as well. We had Troubles the Clown and the Bogart one returning from previous years as well. Nice to see those costumes make its return. I think we might actually have most of them in the game now from ones before costumes were available all the time. So that's nice to see. Then on October 16th, we got the costume trunk and 3 Spootical Junior decorations. So now in Dawn of Fire, we are having seasonal decorations released, 3 of them with each of the core seasonal events, which is really nice to see. I am very happy with the big goofy goober bulbous one. The Goblin. The costume trunk too is awesome now that we can go ahead and craft as costumes to make sure that we can keep them. I will admit it's quite daunting and a heavy task load to get them, but I don't mind. I love Dawn of Fire. I'm happy I can craft them now. Oh. And then on October 30th, we had Epic Oraculele with Beat Hereafter. This one, I was actually really shocked at how they managed to use the colors in this. It looked like a prismatic almost. I love the guitar. We also had Rare O-Stacks that day. Noodles. Behold the Noodle Boy. Oh. On October 30th, we got the Echidna costume too. I love Echidna's costume. It makes me so happy. Echidna got a costume. I need Capricorn to have the glasses, please. It's perfect for Mindboggle. The Fury glasses that I put on them all the time. Please. I'd kill for an actual MSM asset of that. The Echidna costume was so adorable though. I can't believe the way the colors were formatted inside of this, and the birds and the parrots from it. Oh, I love them. And then moving on to November now. November was the second favorite month of the year for me. September, October, November, December were all of my favorite months though, because we just got so much good stuff in the year. Then November 6th, we got Rare Udo. Cool design there. And then November 13th, we got Epic Flugel. I'm not sure why Flatangle is there. I'll put it on screen for y'all. Epic Flugel was an ugly cool dude. I like it when they do the ugly designs sometimes. It really was so different, this one too. It had such a momentous effect to make it so ugly in a sense. Really cool. And then on November 13th, we had Rare Fiddlements. Rare Fiddlements, based on people who are kind of mad sci-fi. It's people with the tinfoil hats and whatnot. I thought that was an awesome idea, especially seeing as though basically Fiddleman is a UFO because it levitates around, right? But November 13th, we also got Buzzinga! Yeah! Baby Buzzinga arrived in Dawn of Fire and it tugged at our heartstrings. This one, just like to every other one. I cannot believe the subtle uniqueness that this provides, yet the impact. It's not always, people have to remember, the big monsters or whatever that adds hundreds of tracks. This one track, it makes it so much more special to me, the song, and the design is so cute. It just a little flipper dance. Oh, and then on November 20th we got Rare Clothing Art. In this time I can remember we were waiting for Firehaven Epic Wubbox because it was teased with Baby Bazinga, but then on November 27th, I don't usually include the shorts, but this one was just uncanny, yo. So this short, right, you sat through it, you're expecting Firehaven Epic Wubbox, and then all of a sudden they reveal alongside it, right, Rare Wubbox and Fire Oasis. So we're like, oh my god, this is so much, and his theories were right. And then all of a sudden, Rare Wubbox and Fire Oasis, it starts looking at these shard particles coming together, and then it levitates on down, and you see Fire Oasis Epic Wubbox. I'm just sorry. Wow. My mind was blown. It has never been as blown as what it was that day. Like, seriously, even with the War Island and Earth Island ones coming on the same day, just, wow, we already had two. They made 3 Wubboxes come out on the same day. That was amazing. I really love that trailer moment of that Epic Wubbox dropping. But then, as well, Firehaven Epic Wubbox on November 27th, just wow. And the flames on this, the sounds, the impact, and getting that flamethrower I was wanting and theorized about. I could not believe this, dude. It knocked it out of the park. I'm sorry to the Fanmades even, but wow, this one was the supreme victor, and I thought they'd have a hard job, but no, because this one was epic. It truly deserved the title. The way that it integrated itself basically through the entire Firehaven song was absolutely uncanny. Flamethrowers added such a special effect towards its animations, and even the, should we mention, jumping up in the air. Whoa! Animations have never been as dynamic as that. It was literally going all around everywhere. I seriously could not. Every single movement and animation behind this is so carefully done. The design is so flawless as well. I love this ever so much. It seriously is my favorite Epic Wubbox, the Firehaven one. And then as well on that day, we got on the 27th, the Fire Oasis Epic Wubbox. Oh my god! This one was really cool as well. I love how it mimics the glass, just like to the blown glass found around Fire Oasis. It mimics that island atmosphere very well. I was shocked at how well it manages to be the island, embrace it in a way that I would argue we've not seen since Water Island Epic Wubbox. It feels like they strayed away from that a bit, but no, we came back at it full force with this and in a magnificent way. I will admit, I do wish it played more. I feel like it did get away with it a bit though, because it came with the Firehaven one. So we take it as it is, if you know what I mean, but because, boy, 2 Epic Wubboxes. Come on. And then we also got on November 27th, the Epic Bazinga with the buzz shake. Yes, it does the little buzz shaker dance, and I love it ever so much for that. See, the wiggle. The wiggle. I was doing this the entire time through the reaction, okay? The buzz shaker cannot be stopped. I love this animation so much. You see, this is why I love the custom animations on the Epics. It makes them feel really cool. Please, every single Epic in the future, do unique animations, because it shows how much potential they can have, especially combined with the design. If they make it and transform it into something else, then giving it animations lets them flow with that a lot more and do things a lot more expressively and not have limitations. And I loved it for that reason. I need every Epic to have a custom animation, because this was hilarious as well, and also one of MPG's favorites. I love Epic Bazinga, one of my faves, an Epic Bazinga. You definitely redeemed on Rare Bazinga. Then on November 27th, we had Rare Nerve. Ooh, this one, I think, set up a big display for what we can expect from the Dream Mythicals, perhaps. I was thinking Nerve, Weasel. I'm so excited to see these otherworldly-like counterparts get their rares, and to see this Jester-like one was awesome. I'm still disturbed by how it puts its eye sockets in its horns, though. That's what that shaped hole is there for. Still really weird. Moving on to December, though, now. On December 11th, we had the Paranormal paranormals come, and I have wrote a full due because we all thought the Psychic Island Titan Soul was coming. But no, we had a new class that debuted in here, the paranormals with Harriet. This was a big moment, I feel like, where we were all pranked. This was the moment where they pranked us, and I think they weren't even meaning to. They didn't really highlight on it quite as much in the title of the video, you can see, but when I was reacting, I've obviously not seen that, and it was a big moment for me in being confused why it was so, but then it turned out to be a new class, and I'm so glad it did. The way that this fits the Mirror Islands so well, the counter essence of them, because the Mirror Islands are a lot more creepy, they have this ominous atmosphere, and to counter that with this cute design having a spooky like variant, it integrates that spooky vibe that MSM has always missed out on in a way that also preserves the integrity of the brand of MSM. The cuteness is a perfect fit. It makes me wonder how the other monsters, the paranormals, are going to conflict, and I'm so excited to see the other elements as well. I'm so glad we have new classes though. This is what the game really needed. At this point in time, it felt like we needed new classes because the other classes were draining out in a sense, because you can only do so much with them, right? And I'm so glad because this one, it has that unique element of being different in a unique way, like the Titan Soul based on the Titan, paranormal having that counterpart. It has a unique element behind it, and I feel like that idea, it really sprouts off a lot of potential for the future behind theories and also future behind that class in general. I am so bewildered by Harriet. I think it's a lovely addition to Psychic. It is really surprising to me that the mirror variant is so much cooler than the normal one. I'm still trying to get over that and process that inside of my brain though. I ain't complaining though. You give me them on both, and that is basically everything I could want and more, and making the Mirror Islands even more unique. It's just a 2-in-1 package, baby. December 11th, we also got Epic Stromboning. This one had the cute Fleech critter. So with Rare Stromboning, we had Horrigine with the instrument that it holds, and then this one is the Fleech. This one is such a cute design. I love it being based on a reindeer. The epic mythicals have turned out to be the best epics. The epic seasonals, they were some of the best, but I've got to say the epic mythicals, I like them more so far. Keep on going, baby. That was such a cute design. Then on December 11th, we also got Rare Dromedary, a bit out of nowhere, concluding the Rare Naturals now. That's a big moment, and lots of people, well, even me, weren't talking about that one. Something that we kind of missed out upon, because Rare Dromedary, it came out of nowhere. It wasn't really necessary for them to add it at this stage. I feel like they want to just move on to the epics though next year, so it makes sense why it did come. And it was finally based on Rare Noggin. Well, not Rare, normal Noggin, which was basically the whole thing throughout the year that we were anticipating for the rest of them to do. And then we also got the Dipster Doors on December 11th. I'm so glad that they added these. These add to the lore behind the Dipsters. We've always known that they're found in these underground tunnels and use keys for them. I think it's really nice to have these unique arts displays capture that aesthetic behind the Dipsters. I love the artist style behind them. I want to see more unique ways behind discovering monsters other than the eggs. It felt like this was a very nice addition, but also one that I'd love to see for other variants if we get something unique in the future. Thinking about that a little bit more would be nice. We also had some Festival of Yay costumes on December 11th. We had Krampus style with Rare Mama. I've got to bring up that one because the crow from Ethereal Lunchtime. We also had the Toe Gemma one, which was basically a completely different one. Absolutely amazing designs all around with the costumes this year. I feel like they did it a lot better. We also have the only 2 costumes I've put up on screen for Dawn of Fire. I'm so sorry. Which is kind of ironic because it's only 2. The rest of them had like 8. But there we got the Dawn of Fire Festival of Yay Junior decorations and 2 costumes inside of a mini Dawn of Fire update. But we were expecting Baby Stromboning, but I suspect they are saving that for the Season of Love now, because Baby Ostrich has already arrived, and that is the only seasonal event that they won't have a Baby Mythical. And Baby Bazinga had only just come, so I feel like they're saving it for next year, which, fair enough, but also give me rest from The costumes were very cute too. It's nice to see them still updating them. And then on December 11th, we had a final prismatic. Oh my god, can you guys believe that it's actually ended? What is going on right now? We have the prismatics ending in Dawn of Fire. What please, the continent must end next year as well. The Outer Islands have already ended. I need the end to the continent. I need what's next. But also, the Prismatics ending, I feel like, is a big signal for the Dawn of Fire needs to enter a new stage, which I am really excited about. I don't expect them, honestly, to do it, but I want it. I mean, Prismatic Mimic 2, it was really awesome that they added some custom animations for it with the mist breathing. Overall, capturing that parrot aesthetic some more. Really cool. Then we have Rare Bulbo and Rare Crunchy, the Stink and Stark duo, as I've called them. I'm so excited for Epic Crunchy. I hope they embrace the Squidward a bit more. They referenced it inside of Rare Crunchy's bio, but I'm still hoping that maybe they do a bit more with that. Rare Bulbo was based on spots and zits, and apparently it's supposed to be an encapsulation of bringing pride towards looking how you are and embracing yourself and self-empowerment. I'm so sad that I didn't notice that inside of my discovery, but I love it ever so much for that. Let's move on to the last update of the year then now, which is the Firehaven Epic Wubbox sounds being updated. Before we move on to a mysterious new thing that I am including this year in review this year. So with Firehaven Epic Wubbox's sounds, right, they basically removed all of the fire, all of the foot stomping, and then updated it inside of the game, and it does not feel as impactful anymore. With the Pentumbra sound, they made it less nasally. It felt like a very good move. But this one, it is the opposite. It leaves it feeling bare compared to the original. I'm so sad that they did this. I hope that they revert it, because honestly, it's not as good as the original. It's one thing to have something that maybe you're not so impressed with, but then to have something you are impressed with and take away from it slightly, I feel like is a bad move. I hope that they do correct it. I mean, I saw lots of comments saying that they agreed to, so I hope that they bring back the old sounds. You can go and watch my video on them if you haven't, though. But anyway, this is a new thing that I am trying. I am unsure how people are going to respond to this, so if you like this idea, then say yes, and I will include more next year. For now, though, I have just included my highlights of the community. So, community creations that really impacted me the most this year. So, let's take a look. If you guys want more, then I will include them next year. Lyriccle was already in the main timeline because it was just so special. January 21st, we had the Magical Sanctum Festivals class by Nova. I have long said that the Magical Sanctum, it feels like it is very big, and it would suit some new monsters so well, and to see Nova embrace these, I was so astounded, and the sounds were so great. The Monster Explorers did such a good job with these, and I love the designs ever so much. Honestly, this class is my favorite fan-made class. I love them so much, and I have listened to it very frequently. Now, March 19th, we have Ghostympas Perplex Ray. Perplex Ray was so awesome, yo. I feel like the Crystal Quads, the fan-made predictions behind them, they were just absolutely amazing. I loved seeing Perplex Ray in future Ghostympa creations too, and how they merged it together. I feel like this monster, it had such an impact on the community at the time. There were so many fan-mades this year that I feel like just went so viral. It was so awesome to see just because of Workshop and the story that was unfolding. It was absolutely a magical experience this year. Perplex Ray being a part of that was magical too. I loved the facial expressions and the sound itself. It was a really unique monster, I will give you that, Timber. Very expressive and whimsical. Definitely fitting of a Crystal Quad. And then on June 8th, we had Mosaic from Nova. This one referenced to Perplex Ray inside of the mirror. Very cool Easter egg there, Nova. Maybe the coolest Easter egg I've seen for a fan made so far. Wow, this one was so expressive. The trumpets amongst it, I felt like it had to be included as well. Then on August 21st, we had Celestial Starscape. I will say, Ghostympa, you have done so many things that have revolutionized the fan-made community this year, or provided things that were very long-lasting, and I'm very amazed by that. Celestial Starscape, I listen to that a lot too. I love the weather changes between it and how you chose to just like to your rare Wobbling Island, which we're gonna bring up later. You know, I couldn't not include that. It's so cool how you managed to embrace the designs a lot more inside of this, and the unique idols, just everything really brought this together. Honestly, this was my favorite, even over rare Wobbling Island, I would rate. It was so cleverly done, and it made me realize just how much I love the Celestials, and specifically Starhenge. Starhenge is so underrated, man. I love Starhenge even more than Celestial Island. And then moving on to September 6th, we had Ethereal Lunchtime. Now, this is the epitome of all fan creations, every single one. I'm sorry, but this is the one that I ended up listening to most this year, and I think that can be said for a lot of people. This was just, oh, it was beautiful. It was everything. It made me gobsmacked. I am so amazed at how Defork and Roach put this together, how the song flows, how you managed to do the gel-ability bit. It felt like a big community moment, and also a great summary towards the Ethereal Workshop ending. I feel like Big Bubble has a lot to live up towards now. If they want to beat this, they are gonna have a job on, because it is absolutely amazing, this song. The vocals are transcending. They have so much atmosphere towards them, and they use the monsters so well. You managed to use all of the monsters, it felt like, in a great way. Not a single one in the song felt like it went unused. Every single one was a standout one. It encapsulated on the ethereals so greatly, every single sound. I'm left absolutely flabbergasted by it. Absolutely well done. October 1st, then we had Rare Wobbling Island as well by Ghostympa. Once again, an awesome rendition behind the Rare Wobblings here. Unlike to the adult Celestial version with Celestial Starscape, this time you had the remix almost of Wobbling Island. I felt like it was still a very awesome one, and I had to include it therefore on my year in review here, but that is my year in review. Boyos! Oh my goodness, I have recorded for 2 hours at this point. So at least an hour and a half, right? Oh boy, this is a big year in review, but I will say this year, wow. Workshop. We need a new island desperately. Workshop carried this island this year so well. I loved this year. I really did. It might not have had as much as Year of the Monster, the year where it was celebrating the 10th anniversary right last year, but I feel like this year I probably did enjoy more. There was so many moments, community moments inside of this year that felt really special. And I think that's also why I wanted to include that little segment at the end there. And I love you all. I'll see you later though for now. If you enjoyed this, make sure to leave a like down below and let me know what your favorite update was. Mine was Bamiba, I mean, obviously.